Hello everyone. Previously we had discussed on the logical operator, right? So we had discussed on the logical operators. So today we'll be discussing on the short circuit evaluation, right? So today we'll be discussing on the short circuit evaluation. So in Python, logical operators are short circuit. Uh, Logical operators use short circuit evaluation, right? So I'll just explain this one later. Just listen to this. Let's discuss the definition first, then we can just discuss it. Right, I'll just elaborate it later. So in Python, logical operators use short circuit evaluation, where it stops evaluating as soon as the result is determined, where it stops evaluating as soon as the result is determined. See, for example, uh, let me explain this one. Suppose Python in Python, as I've said, logical operators use short circuit evaluation, right? This part. So suppose if we are making use of the AND, right? So previously we had discussed on the logical operator. So logical operator, right? So in AND, both A and B has to be both A and B or both conditions has to be true. Both conditions has to be true, then only the result will be true. Both the conditions, if both the conditions are true, then only the result is true, then only the result will be true. So what happens if the first condition itself is false? If the first condition itself is false, or if it fails, then what does the Python do? It will not check for the second condition at all. It will not check for the second condition at all. So same goes with or as well. Similar thing goes with or as well. Nothing but in or in or either A has to be true, or either one of the condition has to be true for the result to be true. For the result to be true, either one of the conditions has to be true. Suppose if we consider A and B for the example sake, so A or B has to be true for the result to be true, right? So here in this case, if the first condition itself is true, if suppose if we consider A, right? So if the first condition itself is true, then we don't have to check for B at all, because one condition is always true. The result will be quite obviously true itself. The result will be quite obviously true itself. So this is basically Python uses uh, logical operators to you that uses short circuit evaluation, where it stops evaluating as soon as the result is determined, right? So I hope this part is completely clear, man. I hope this part is completely clear, right? So next what shall we do? Let's discuss the same thing with a very simple example. So I'll just go with the check def check. So here, let me print something. Let me go with print. So here let me give check within the strings. Also let me give here called check called, right? So here return true, return true. The urge to give the semicolon is insane. So I'll practice this one, man, as much as possible, not to give the semicolon when I'm writing the code in Python. So let's print. I'll just make use of the print here. So let me give false. So this we will be making use of and here false and check. So it will not check for other condition at all. So first itself, if it is false, while we are making use of and first condition, if the first condition itself is false, then quite obviously it will stop there and we will get the output. We have to get the output false itself, right? So I'm just going with a check here. Next, let me go with print again here. So this one will be true or check, true or check, right? So for the third one, I'll just go with print. So here again, true and check, true and check. So this is fine. So now let me try to this one run this one, right? So I have, what is the name I have given? Short circuit evaluation dot. So let me give here, copy this one and let me paste it over here, right? So what error we are getting here? Oh yeah, I have given semicolon here. This one has to be colon, sorry. It shouldn't have been the semicolon. This should be colon, right? So let me run this one again. sorry, not the logical operator, man. Which file I'm running? Sorry, just give me a second here. uh where did short circuit evaluation go? So yeah, let me run this one. Yeah, now we are getting the correct answer, right? So now we are getting the correct answer. First, see, just give me a second here. So first what we are doing, we are just printing the this one. What do we call? We are just going with a and, right? So here, return, this returns false immediately because the first condition itself is false. The second one here, this returns true immediately because first condition itself true, we don't have to check for the second condition at all. Either, if either of the conditions a or b is true, then it is true, right? So when we are making use of or, we know this one, right? So we are getting the output true, right? So now here for this one, true and check for the true and check for the this one. So this has to evaluate check, this has to evaluate check. See here, called, and we are getting true, we are getting true, right? So we are getting the correct output, we are getting the correct output. So basically what happens in the Python, let me summarize this one. So we are done with the short circuit evaluation. Let me summarize this one, what we have learned till now, right? So what we have learned so far. So Python optimizes the logical operations. So this one, logical operations in the sense, and or not, we have made use of this one, right? Python optimizes the logical operations by skipping unnecessary evaluations using short circuiting. By skipping unnecessary evaluations using short circuiting. Using short circuiting, right? So we are done with the short circuit evaluation topic, right? So next, we'll be discussing on the chaining comparison operator. Chaining comparison operator. Right. So for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.